We had this property 2 months of my own salary, made nothing.
The title of this video should be What Not to Do When Starting Your Airbnb.
This video is focused on how we got this first property here, the events that led to us finding it, the process of getting it ready for the market, and any other issues that arise in the process of getting it to live.
The journey started with me in January 2024 because then is when I actually started doing deep research into who I want to do training with, because I knew I wanted to get into property and I knew I wanted to do it with Jerely because it was going to be our business, of course. I literally just brought him this YouTube video. I said, babe, you need to watch this. I knew who I wanted to work with, which was Sam Leeds. I found his website and he does these crash courses for £1. I paid the £2 for the both of us, and then I let him know the dates, and I'm like, yeah.
This is the craziest thing. I left my job. I had no job, right?
Yeah.
And we only had a certain amount of money to live on. She had her own place to stay, but I would buy food for her and them kind of stuff there. I'm obviously paying my rent, and my sister was living with me at the time, essentially paying for 3 people. Yet here we are now at this crash course where this guy is saying, give me $2,000 for the entry into his full training to learn everything that we need to learn. And she's looking at me like, yo, you have to give it on this money.
Listen, I knew that this is what we were going to be doing, yeah? I was always business minded and I always wanted to do property. When I decided that we were going to this crash course, I had already decided that we were getting the training.
You don't have a choice.
The actual training was £2,000, I think, but then they got
the full cost was $10,000.
No,
but
no,
they gave a discount.
No, the full cost was £12,000.
Oh, sorry. Even my apologies. The point is, here I am with the last bit of money to my name. I had just secured a job at Beaumont and Partners, and we're there. Everyone's scrambling because there was a certain
We're
amount.
at the training.
There was
Let me go for it. It didn't matter to me because I was getting it.
with my money.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the point of how we got spending itself. My friend was coming to stay with me and my sister. The place that we're staying had good room. It was a 3-bed, but I've been trying to leave that 3-bed because the agency was horrible. The mold in the bathroom was wild. So we're on a viewing now, and we're standing in Spennymoor 10 minutes before the viewing. We there standing, all 3 of us. And there's this guy walking up, he's like, good morning. Just randomly, you know? The first person he point to, of course, everybody points to her. Hey, beautiful lady. He didn't say that. He was like, hello, where you guys from? She says she's from Guyana. Guyana? No way.
My partner's from Guyana. Obviously in the British accent that I don't have.
He's like, you have to come see her.
She was actually working on the property, so she was painting and so on.
So we were in here and we were letting her know that we were in the process of moving. She was like, oh, what about this place and so on. But this is a 2-bed. So we already knew that this couldn't work for us because we needed a minimum of a 3-bed. But we saw this as an opportunity. Maybe we could get this property working and for the business.
It was a blessing meeting this landlord. They're so nice. We have a really good relationship.
We immediately started looking to see where we can get some investment from. So I went out to the people I knew from my circle who had money first. We put out some message on the Facebook. We got a few people who said they would be interested, and that was a good start. But I also took out a business loan to get started here while we were waiting on for the real investment. The business loan came through, but it wasn't as much money that we would actually need to complete the project. So I was pouring all my personal resources into getting this thing started up. We had a maintenance guy who came in.
The maintenance guy we had, boy, he messed me up. He really messed us up. It was so disappointing because
this is not a refurb business. You're not doing flips. This is not development. This is get in and make money. You want to find properties that are in as good condition as possible because you want to be spending as little amount of money as possible at the start so you can hit the ground running. If you find a property, you have the money, you buy the furniture and the amenities that you need to, you put it in and you put the property live. Within 2 to 3 weeks, the max. And check this, we had this property for 2 months before we made a cent. I spent 2 months of my own salary, made nothing.
The title of this video should be What Not to Do When Starting Your Airbnb.
Yeah. The renovation situations that we had in the property. When we came in, we didn't like the kitchen tiles. They looked old-fashioned. And we also didn't like the kitchen counter. So those two things needed to change for sure. The kitchen door needed some work. The frames needed to be completely removed and needed resealing. We also wanted to remove the fire surround when we came in. There was one here for a practical reason. You see the height of the television. The fire surround was about here. The bottom of the TV would have to be about here. And what that means is that when you're sitting down, you have to be breaking your neck off to look at the TV, and we don't like that. It's as close to eye level as possible. And they allow us to have a floating unit right there.
The bedroom upstairs is a beautiful space. The entire right wall, and that's where the bed would have to go. That entire wall, our closet. I actually really loved the closet, but because they were on the right side of the room, they took up all the space for the beds. If they were on the left, I would leave them there. The beds needed to be where those wardrobes were. So because they were on that side, we could only fit a single bed there without the door opening on the bed. But we needed to fit a super king size bed. Even if we fitted one single on that side and tried to put another single on the other side of the room, there's also the issue that the closet on that side of the room would open into the bed as well. There wouldn't be enough space, so it had to go. So right now that room is still not done.
First thing that we got removed was the fire surround, and there was a big hole in the wall. That took about 3 weeks to plaster for some reason. Then kitchen counters and the flooring took about another month, to the point that I had to finish the flooring myself.
I was just gonna say, the maintenance guy didn't even do the floor. It was Jerely. He literally laid down the first maybe 10 herringboard, and we came like twice after he laid down the first 10. No improvement, nothing. Then we came a third time, same thing. Jerely just got so fed up, he just ended up coming after work and finishing it. He never even did that before.
The maintenance guy, he told me there was I think that was a soil pipe, which is crazy though. So he ripped out the boxing that we had there and did some jigging around and so on and fixed some piping work, etc. There was some works on the doors and some final bits of snagging that needed to be done. And then up until the last week itself, the edge of the worktops wasn't put on. They come with these strips that need to be pasted on. The point is that this stuff took way longer than it should have taken, and it delayed our ability to go live, which cost us money, to the point that we couldn't even launch with 2 bedrooms. It's a 2-bed property that we're marketing as a single room. Thankfully, we have the sofa bed here. Instead of just fitting 2 people, we're able to fit 4 people, but this property is supposed to be able to fit 6. And the competition in the area are all 2-bed minimums. So it's just part of the reason why we feel like we had such a hard time getting to a good standard online, because people are looking at what we're offering. Even though it looks nice, they're saying, I can't fit my people. We got to a stage that we couldn't afford to not make money. 2 months and no money on this property is ridiculous. So we said, listen, just focus your efforts and finish the last bit of snagging downstairs first, and then we'll just put a lock on that door, lock it off, and launch it as a single.
The setting up of this property didn't actually take us any time at all. It really was just the maintenance holding us back. As soon as we decided we need to just close the room off and get this property live, we're done in a couple days. We definitely learned a lot of lessons from this first property. No matter what, I'm so grateful we got it.
If you ask me, well, what we would do differently for sure is that we would try to get a better maintenance guy at the start, 100%. Ideally, your first property should be the best. But if you ask me, would I have not taken this property? I don't think I would. I still would have taken it, I believe, even though it required this amount of work, because the knowledge that we gained from operating this property in the state that is, the amount of difficulties that we had, it just elevated us to a level that we wouldn't have otherwise gotten to if everything had ran smoothly. We're thankful. We're going to keep learning. Things are going to not be perfect all the time, but we strive to continue to do our best and just keep moving forward, mate. That's the end of this deep dive video here, our first deep dive video, but look forward for more deep dive videos like this one. Can you get a really in-depth idea of a particular topic? Our next deep dive video like this one specifically would most likely be the new property that we get when we get to that stage, okay?
So excited, guys, because this property now, you guys are actually gonna be able to follow along with us in real time. I'm really excited for that.
Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to our channel for more.
Share it.
Share it with your friends and anybody who might be interested in property. Also, we're looking to do business with landlords in the UK. If you're interested in doing some work with us, send us a message or reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. Our details are in the description of this video. And investors as well, we're always looking to add more investors to our pool. We want to be able to get to a stage where we'll have properties waiting and have investors. So we'll always have an investor to tie to our property. Thank you again for watching, and please take care. Take care.
That's how we ended it?
I don't know.
No, it's Goshen.
Definitely not Goshen. Goodbye.